Now let's talk about the key terms that we're talking about and the practice changes. So how this would impact realtors, lenders, home buyers, home sellers in the day-to-day practice of real estate. So two of the big changes with this class action. The first was the changes in the way that you could advertise commissions on the MLS. Under the class action settlement, no advertising of compensation can happen on the MLS. Now there are several caveats to that, but one of the big takeaways with the practice changes, you can't put explicitly on the MLS what you're willing to pay as compensation for a buyer's agent. So that's a big change. Now, caveats to that, exceptions to that, seller concessions are allowed on the MLS. So, if you're an agent, you have a seller, they've agreed, okay, me as the seller, I'm willing to pay $3,000 towards closing costs. You can definitely put that on the MLS, no problem. The second kind of thing to know about advertising on the MLS, seller concessions cannot be contingent upon agent commission. So it's, in practice, it's almost like you have to have a conversation with your seller up front, decide what the seller wants those to be, and then work out the agent commission on the back end, if that's how somebody's going to be paid. But the seller concessions themselves cannot be contingent on the commission. So you can't say, we'll pay $3,000 towards seller concessions if you'll agree, to accept 2.5% as a commission as the buyer's agent. Under the new practice changes, you can't do that. So something else that's important to know, offers of compensation could continue to be an option that are pursued off of the MLS. So if you are representing a buyer as the buyer's agent, it's certainly within your rights as the buyer's agent to pick up the phone or to send an email and call the listing agent and say, hey, we're looking at 123 Main Street. What are you willing to pay as compensation to the buyer's agent for 123 Main Street? So you can definitely call another agent, you can talk about it, you just can't put it on the MLS. So another interesting thing about this and the advertising, offers of compensation for your own listings are allowed on a broker/agent's own website and social media. So if you're an agent and you have your own listing on your own website or on your own social media, you can advertise compensation on those sites in those places. You just can't advertise it on the MLS. So that's kind of the first big practice change that we've seen as part of this NAR settlement. It's the way that you advertise on the MLS.